I mean, there's something strange about them. Strange? Krish pushed his glasses up his nose, making his dark brown eyes look enormous. This was his serious mode. Yeah, they've changed, Nancy went on. It's like they're not really my parents. In what way? Krish asked, looking interested. Well, you know when someone's mouth smiles but their eyes don't? They're like that, no emotion. Nancy stared at the lunch congealing on her plate. This probably sounds stupid, but when I told Mum I got an A in my maths test yesterday, she hardly said a word. Normally she makes a big fuss. Is that it? Krish asked. He sounded unimpressed, and Pete knew why. Krish got a B in that test, and he hated being the second smartest kid in their class. His mum and dad expected him to be top in everything, no excuses. Krish said he had a tiger mum, Indian style, and he was right. Pete had met her. No, that's not it, Nancy said. Mum and Dad have started keeping the curtains closed all the time, even when it's sunny outside. And they keep going out at strange times during the night. Doesn't sound that weird, Krish said. My mum keeps the blinds closed all day. She says it stops the photos on the wall from fading. Pete nudged Krish to shut up, then gave Nancy a supportive look. When did it start? Pete asked her. Nancy thought for a moment. A few days ago, maybe? Not long after the fracking site was shut down. Her face lit up as if she'd suddenly remembered something. Yeah, Nancy added. Dad took Mum down there to pick up some files, and they were acting weird when they got back. Their geography teacher had given them a lesson about hydraulic fracturing, or fracking as everyone was calling it, when the site at Carpenter's Field had first opened. Mr. Craven had explained how the people from the gas company would drill into the ground, pump in water, sand and chemicals, then suck it all back out again. That would release gas to power central heating systems and cookers and other things. But everyone in the village had been furious about the idea. They'd said fracking could cause small earthquakes. They'd also said that the chemicals used were highly poisonous and could get into the drinking water. It had been all anyone in Crooked Oak had talked about for months. Loads of protests had taken place outside Carpenter's Field, people with banners, shouting and getting angry. Pete wasn't listening to Nancy anymore. He was thinking about how he and Krish and Nancy used to spend time building camps in the woods around Carpenter's Field, before it had been fenced off. But now that the fracking site had suddenly been shut down, Pete wondered if they'd get the field back soon. No one really seemed to know what was going on with it. I used to love playing in Carpenter's Field, Pete said. Remember how we used to catch those tiny fish in the beck? Sticklebacks, Nancy said. I remember. And my mum wasn't doing the drilling. She just worked at the fracking site because she needed a job. She was in the office. And anyway, it's all right, Pete said. We know it's not your fault. I wish everyone else did, Nancy said, as she pushed a piece of soggy broccoli around her plate. People like Tyson Bridges keep saying my mum's a traitor. Ignore them, Pete told her. They sat in silence for a while, picking at their food, until Nancy said, So what do you think? About my mum and dad? Krish shrugged. Doesn't sound that weird to me. But Pete wasn't so sure. He'd always liked Mr. Finney, but when Pete looked back now and saw the head teacher staring right at them, he couldn't help feeling creeped out. There was a strange, dead look in Mr. Finney's eyes. Chapter 2. Carpenter's Field. At the end of school, Pete and Krish went to get their bikes, while Nancy went to her music lesson. I reckon Nancy's mum and dad are vampires, Pete said to Krish. They went down to the fracking place to get some files and got bitten. Krish rolled his eyes. You're obsessed with vampires. You need to read more instead of playing video games and watching horror films all the time. But it makes sense, Pete insisted. They keep the curtains closed, so they must be scared of daylight, and they keep going out at night. They're not vampires, Pete, Krish said. They unlocked their bikes and wheeled them to the school gates. Do you have to go?